Welcome guys to a break in your regularly scheduled programming, as we're not Let's Playing just today. Oh well, our Let's Plays are normally on as usual, but we're here for some fast frenetic action with the newest Nintendo IP, Splatoon, and I'll have to give an explanation in my first Splatoon video, of course, for those of you who do not know the IP, haven't heard about it, haven't heard about kids or squids or squids or kids, and haven't seen that terrible Nintendo advert, the Squid Kid. It's very meme-worthy, that's for sure, and this game is meme central, if you know what I mean. If you played the game, man, the memes, all the SpongeBob and all the Zoidbergs and all the crustacean-based memes you could ever want are in this game. So let me give an explanation about it. Let's do it. Right. You play as an amorphous squid-human hybrid that wants to spray his ink everywhere. Turf War is the game mode we're playing, which basically the objective of it is to spread as much of your coloured ink across the map as possible. This is the middle ground at the moment, as you can see. It's generally an identical map on either side, so it's kind of fair in that respect. But you can spread ink on the ground, you can splat your opponents with the enemy ink, they can splat you with the enemy ink, that's for sure. They can splat you all around, and if you splat, you'll blow up in their colour, which isn't so good. Also, you get given a little bit of a respawn timer, so it does slow you down. The game rounds themselves are only 3 minutes long. It's kind of fire and forget gameplay. You're in and out as fast as possible, so to be honest, it never really feels bad if you lose, because you're always in a game, like, straight away. You're always in another game, going, more ink. You score points by just covering the other ink up. As you can see, the point bar just went up nicely there for covering up all that ink and splatting that guy, though you don't get points for splat. You can just watch the point bar go up, and the point bar kind of goes for experience as well as money that you get at the end to buy yourself gear and customize your character as much as possible. I'm usually one of the lower levels in the lobbies at the moment though. One of the great things about this game is that the netcoding is really good. At the moment, I tend to play against wall-to-wall level 20 Japanese, or quite a lot of Japanese people at a higher level than me, that's for sure. I'm trying to build up my level. I think I'm like level 12 at the moment, level 11. I'm trying to get there, I'm trying to get some better gear, but all the same, at the moment I'm just stuck using certain sets here, which is why this spray is being used. Supposedly one of the most powerful guns in the game because its ability to cover everything, and that's a marker, by the way, for super jumping in. I'll have to explain more about that in the future, that's for sure. As you can see, I'm invading the enemy base, splatting as many enemies as I can to give my team the time to move up and take over. And now I'm going to really forge forward, because as soon as that counter starts to get down to like the last 30 seconds or so, the further you can go forward and the more ink you can cover, the better off your team is. And with that said, it's time to launch my special, I think it is. Let's get launching the Ink Zuka and try to take out another opposition. There we go. Nicely done, splattered Alex. So, even if you're not splatting people, you're contributing to your team as long as you're covering up ink. So you don't have to be that guy who can take on the other players. As long as you're splatting ink, you're just generally doing a better job. As you'll see here from the end scores, I don't actually score the highest, despite the fact that I get the most splats by a large margin. But we covered 67.5%, which means that the good guys get the victory. Of course, the good guys is always whatever team you're on, that's for sure. 8-1 splats there, but as you can see, someone who only got 2 got way more points than me because they covered a lot more ground. So you're never ranked on your splatting ability. It's not about that, it's about your ability to cover as much ground as possible, at least in this game mode, because there's more game modes being released, there's more patches coming as we move on to one of the patched in new maps. Basically, Nintendo seem to have this thing that they're updating the game steadily, and they're just putting in new maps, new items for you to have customization. As you can see here, I've got a gas mask on, I've got different gear. It's like all about getting slots and upgrading your gear and abilities and all that. Pretty much is the main part of the game, apart from the actual fighting itself. I don't think I've played this map at this point in time, so I'm kind of just spraying everywhere and kind of going, I don't know what's going on. There's always seems to be one guy that has stuck at the back here going, oh, I have to paint the whole base, because everyone else just forges forward and fights everyone. Why can't everyone just paint up a little bit at a time? Come on, don't leave me at the back all the time. It always takes me quite a while to get into the battle. I want to get splatting some people too, that's for sure. One of the interesting things about the game is the Wii pad itself, which is actually part of your aiming system. The left stick on the Wii pad, oh there we go, Ink Missile and the Seeker Missile got in perfectly here. There's a bit of a crazy escape about to happen at this point. You can nicely jump and swim in the ink, but if it's an enemy ink, you get slowed down horribly and you get damaged, so you've got to watch out for that. Got to watch out for that indeed. But yeah, the Wii pad with the right stick, it aims you left and right, but the Wii pad itself, the tilt motion, the axis, the motion control itself is what you do your precision aiming with, so that if you see the screen jerking about a lot, that's generally because I'm just moving around that pad trying to get aiming on as many people as possible when I'm in horrible situations like this, trying to do the best I can against the Japanese, so many Japanese players. But yes, that is one of the best things about it, because what I want to do, now I've given somewhat of an explanation about the game, all the buying mechanics and getting gear and fighting and turf war as a whole, there's rank mode now, splat zones and stuff like that, more stuff being released all the time, is say, on social media basically I've been saying about the game, and I've invited anyone who has the game, because worldwide the lag isn't that bad. It's playable for everyone worldwide to play with each other. I've been saying, hey, any of you subscribers out there that have the game, any of you that friended me on Wii, and to be honest, my Wii gamer tag is not that hard to remember. It's just Olizandri if you want to get onto that. It's called gamer tag. It's like a Wii ID or something like that. If you want to play with me, just jump in my games. The join friends thing, join me. I'm quite happy to play with you. Of course, we can't talk anything. There's no voice chat or anything in this, which, to be honest, makes sense to me. Because, you know, kids are playing this as well, and there'd probably be adults swearing away. It's not exactly that good to have voice comms in this kind of crazy, frenetic game. Even though it would be kind of nice sometimes, there's always the uncontrollable element, which is what Nintendo tries to avoid as much as possible. But anyone who, well, wants to play, has Splatoon, feel free to add me. If you see me online, then join the game if you want. I do not mind as we forge forward for that last 10 seconds. That's what we do. We try to bust into the enemy base as much as possible and cover as much ink as possible. So hopefully I gave you guys as much of an explanation as I could in such a short time of Splatoon. As the winner, wow, it's kind of obvious from that map, isn't it? It's the good guys yet again. It's always the good guys. I don't know about that. It always seems to be the good guys. Depends on your perspective, doesn't it? And we topped the leaderboard there with 11 and 2, and I'll see you around for more in the future. In the meantime, I'd love to hear your opinions on the game. I'd love to hear anything you have to say about it in the comments below, so please put it there. And I'll bid you for now a nice bye-bye.